Here's my big upset of the first round. If you want one, I'd keep an eye on Oakland against Kentucky. Remember, one of my favorite stats, the NCAA tournament, teams that are top 10 in offensive efficiency, according to Ken Pom, and 100 or worse in defense, according to Ken Pom, have not made it to the Sweet 16 in the last 20 years. We have two of those teams this year, Bama and Kentucky. So I'm going to fade Kentucky in the first two rounds. I think it's absolutely worth the sprinkle to take Oakland on the money line at plus 750, take them at plus 13.5. And if you know what, if Kentucky wins that game, then we take the winner of Texas Tech and NC State to beat Kentucky in the second round, which will also be a nice plus money price. Now they're getting 7 off of one great season from Jaden Daniels. They're putting them in prime time. They loved what they saw from Jaden Daniels so much. They're putting Washington in prime time 7 times. That is my biggest concern for Washington, is when you play in those prime time games, man, you're getting everybody's best shot. And it's going to take a toll on that roster, on that organization, that coaching staff. Are we really sure that Bo Nix is that guy? I know he had a good season last year. I know he's the kind of quarterback that Sean Payton wanted. But are we really convinced that Bo Nix is that good? Are we really convinced that he's good enough to beat Lamar, to beat Josh Allen, to beat Patrick Mahomes? Like, I'm not convinced that Bo Nix is that guy yet. Xander Schauffele is a must-bet top 20 this week at minus 120. There's nobody who's played the U.S. Open better over the last 8 years than Xander. All 8 years, he's finished in the top 20. 7 of those years, he has finished in the top 10. Must bet Xander at top 20. As much as I would love nothing more than to bet the Ravens to win the AFC or to win the Super Bowl. The reason I can't do it, though, is because of John Harbaugh. And I think a lot of people find that crazy. John Harbaugh won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. He's proved that he can do it. The problem is, John Harbaugh coaches the Lamar Jackson Ravens like he coached the Joe Flacco Ravens. You just don't see that nowadays in the NIL era. A team return 18 starters, especially a team that won 10 games, bringing back all that production. And the fact that their win total is at 8.5, and not only is it at 8.5, but the over is plus 145. That to me feels like a trap, you guys. It really does. It feels like it's too easy. I mean, with the schedule, the production, the amount of wins that they had last year. How about Joe Flacco over 36.5 pass attempts against the Bengals? When he was with Stefanski and the Browns 2 years ago, he played in 6 games. 5 of those 6 games, Flacco had 42 pass attempts or more. He's at 36.5, and you're going up against that Bengals defense. Why wouldn't you throw it? Flacco, over 36.5 pass attempts against Cincinnati, my other prop that I like for this week. I would look at Coach of the Year with Shane Steichen at 28-1. I think that's the angle with Indianapolis this year. You could certainly bet them to win the division. You could bet them to go over 7.5 wins if you want. You could bet them in a number of different ways. But I think there's a path for Steichen, and a lot of it has to do with his quarterback situation. If he can get this team to 9 or 10 wins, and they somehow win that AFC South division with kind of how we perceive Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson going into the season, he's going to get massive props from people around the league.